So I thought I'd show you a little bit of just making markets. Now, if I was a really good shot, I would use these. But no, I like this. Plenty of space to hit and to miss. And I'm building up to sort of shooting 50 yards, 75 yards, 100 yards and 150 yards. So this gives me plenty of splatter to be able to see when I'm close to the target or when I'm off by hitting the black. But I just want to show you a little bit of how to put a target together, because I discovered not only just these are air rifle ones, actually, the Bisley, maybe a Bisley, and they're a great target, standard use for about 25 yards with the air rifle or air pistols. But actually, when I'm out in the field, I need something a bit more stable. So, and I'm as blind as a bat. So I have got these here. These were given by my local shop stored these. And they're actually called reactive targets. So when you hit the black, the yellow comes through, fluorescent yellow, and you can see very clearly where you've been hitting. You can see that in some of my earlier videos. If you subscribe and watch, you'll be able to see it. And what I want to do is I want to use this as a backing plate, because it gives me some. I know the measurements of it. So when I'm zeroing, I know if I'm hitting there or there. I know the distances to be able to recalibrate my scope using the towers on that. So I also like to mount it on a bit of board. I use two types of board. Heavy going stuff is this lovely what's that, about 8mm ply, gives a good thud, but that can be awkward to carry about, because this is my little bag that I take everywhere on the range. So it can only carry so much stuff, and I've made up some of those. You saw me shooting maybe earlier with one of these, and they hang on the tree with some holes I've drilled on that 8mm ply, and but it really does like blow it apart. So it's limited the lifespan of it, because you shoot away all your wood. But you can see the reactive target there showing where you're hitting. Also on a reactive target, you get extra black little stickers to cover the shot, so you can use the target many times. But I've got some of this light ply that I want to try and use. It's only 5mm, if that, and it's really going to be quite light to take onto the range with me as well in my bag. So what I want to do is I want to measure out and cut out the squares, and then I want to mount them so that I can place them on the ground, so the target is lifted above the ground by about half a foot, so sort of looking like a target of, like, would be a rabbit or something like that. And then I will mount, put on my my targets and use a staple gun just to hold those in place, and then easily changed as well. Believe it or not, I take a staple gun with me whenever I go onto the range as well, so I can put up my targets without them blowing away. So let me show you how I'm going to measure them out. See the distance. I want to create a little space around the target so that I've got enough wood to give it support, and then level that up, mark it out very accurately, of course. And it's marked there now, and then I'm going to cut through it so that I can make up 2 targets per little section, and then I want to mount on it then a little stake to go into the ground. So I'll come back when I've cut this out. So once we've cut out the board of ply, I then have drilled 3 holes in the target itself, just for mounting the target in different places. So one, I can use simple bungee to pop it over a tree or over a fence or over something that just hangs loose. Obviously there's a bit of movement on that when the wind's blowing, but it's been very useful to me just to have a means of just hanging the target up. But also I want to be able to fix the target in a solid place, and a way to do that is just using something to put it into the ground. So I've got these little about 1.5 foot of a very thin metal rod that I'm going to bolt onto the target, and then that will allow me to put the target into the ground. So I pop a little bolt in there, and tighten it up. That is it. Give that good. And that can be moved around, so you can mount it in different places and just tighten it up with my screwdriver as I get on site, so they can travel separately, so they fit in my bag, which is really handy. And then once I've got that, I can then place on the center my my actual target itself, and I want to pin that in place with some lovely, so that's not going to blow anywhere. And then again, just to remind us that I was using these little targets that will they're active targets, so they really show clearly where the round is hit. They're made by Birchwood Casey. You can order them online. A pack of 48 targets, about 3 inch, so it is a good target at 150 to 150 yards. And we just take one of those. Let's get one that's already opened. So get the target like that, and then I'll pop it in the center. So the red dot is still the center, and it still gives me a good, so 1 2 3 4 5, and then goes 8 9 10. Good Irish number system there. And that fits on that, so I can hang that from a tree, or I can fix it in the ground, and that will give me the ability to zero my rifle and shoot my rifle. And that's how they come up again, as the reactive dots as they hit. And remember, you can cover the hits and use the targets a few times as you're preparing. So let me get my big screwdriver to just do the final tighten on that, and that's her ready to go. We have now a target that we can use, place in the ground or on a tree, and that is excellent for our range. So there's a simple little tutorial of how to make your own targets that really work. You put that out at 50 yards, have another one at 75 yards, and another one at 100 yards, and just build up that skill. Of course, there is the other thing that we love to have, and that's the old tin is absolutely brilliant. It also has got a 3-inch circle, so you can use it like that, or you can just pop it on a branch, and you hear whenever you've got a good clean hit on that as well. So there's my video for the day, just making up little targets to take onto the site. Thank you for joining me. Why not subscribe and catch up on some ideas as I go along. See you soon. Bye for now.